Hi folks, welcome once again to GazLabs, and I hope that you've all had a very peaceful and restful Christmas break. Today is Sunday, day after Boxing Day, 2020 for those watching this in the future. And my name's Gary. For those of you that don't know my name, I get asked constantly, what's your name? But anyway, there you go. Today I thought I would pick up the mantle with a few bits and pieces that have either come out or that need revisiting. So first of all is an MAT-705 Mark II tuner from MAT. From MAT tuners. It's a little tiny tuner thing here. You can see that. I'll get it out of the bag. So this is not a sales pitch or anything like that. I'm actually going to get this up and running and play with it, but that's the little tuner. Don't know if it'll focus onto it. Yeah, USB-C charge port this time round. You've also got like your connector ports and stuff at the back. Couple of BNC ports, so we're going to have a little play with that. It comes with quite a nice cable as well. It's actually I don't know if it'll focus onto it. Yeah, just about. It's sort of canvas covered, so it's quite a nice bit of cable. Comes with a nice canvas covered USB charge cable as well. It's a bit short though. It's a bit mean, I think, but the advantage with that is that you can charge it from a power bank and things like that, I should imagine, which would be much cleaner. I did find that with the 125, the MAT-125, that the charger, if you had it all connected at the same time, the charger was quite noisy. So you had to basically charge the 125 up and then use it. So let me get rid of the crinkly stuff. The other thing that I was going to revisit as well, that needed a bit of revisiting, is the HackRF 1. Now the reason why that I'm revisiting this is that the I think there's Mayhem and I always forget the other one, but they've oh gosh, I can't remember. Havoc. They've gone from Havoc now to Mayhem in the firmware, and I wanted to sort of revisit and show you how to put it on, because actually with the Mayhem it's actually much simpler. I will say that every time I go to the GitHub site, it seems that the bat file is missing. So I don't know if that is something they're doing deliberately or whether it's an oversight, I don't know. But if you need that bat file or any of the files, then by all means pop over to our Facebook group, GazLab, on Facebook. I'll put a link in the description, so you can always join in that. And if there's anything you need file wise that I have, then I'll quite happily either give you the link to the GitHub, or if it's sort of something that's not available, I'll try and see if I've actually got it for you, and I'll put it in the files section. One thing I will say about Facebook, if you do put files in the file section now or post a file, you have to rename it in a particular way, because they're getting really strict on what files you can upload. So zip files they won't let you upload, and things like that, and exes and things, they won't let you do that. So we're going to revisit the HackRF 1 and the Porter Pack 1. I'm going to show you how to put this together again, and I'll show you, we'll go to the desktop and I'll show you how to put the firmware on and get that up and running. And what else have we got in the goodies? Down here I have in my crinkly bag, this is the XPA-125 tuner from I think is it Xiegu, Bugu? I don't know. Yeah, Xiegu. So we're going to have a quick look at that, and I'm going to actually rev this up and get this running, and that might be a bit of fun. So let's try that. It's got a nice carrier handle on it, and the way I've looked at these amplifiers, and I'll be completely and utterly blunt, you know, that there are some quirks with this amplifier. The I think the what they call it, oh gosh, the automatic gain AGC circuit on it, or whatever it is that on the cable is a mismatch to most radios, and using it can cause all sorts of issues. I think it's about plus 9 volts, and I think a lot of radios expect minus 9 volts or something like that. I don't quote me on what the issue is. So they don't use that ALC circuit. The only part of that of the cable that they're using in this is the PTT line, which basically gives you PTT, and then you can tune it by basically keying the radio up and just pressing the tune button, and it will start as long as you've keyed up, it will just continue the tune process. Really nice. And the way like I said earlier, the way I've looked at these is that this is a box of components with a tuner built in. Now, I've built an amplifier in the past, and it cost me considerably more than about £300 to build a reasonably good amplifier, and even then it wasn't perfect. But this is a pretty good amplifier. I think they're about 450 quid, something like that. But you get a tuner in there, and you get an amplifier, 100 watts HF amplifier. That's actually not bad value. And if you take it as, you know, this is, if you're a home brewer and you want to make some modifications or anything like that, I think this is probably an ideal candidate. But other than that, it's actually pretty close. All the reports I've had from people that are much more knowledgeable than me are actually saying this is actually quite a good starting point for a great project. And so yeah, happy days. I think it's a lovely thing, and got a nice little display and everything on it, so I rate that. It's all right. It's not too bad at all. So let's have a look at what should we start playing with first. I think we'll probably play with the MAT-705 tuner. What do you think? Or I might split this off. Actually, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll do the HackRF as a separate video, and I'll put it up after this one. But what I'll do is I'll play with the 705. I'll put the MAT tuner on and show you that working, and then I'll connect the amplifier up. So see you in a second. Hi folks, I'm back. Right now, there is a period of time gone between when I did this, when I started this video. Since then, the Rode microphone was dropping down and pulling my t-shirt, so I've modified a microphone here so that I can actually extend it away. So that is what that's about, and that's where I've been. But I was going to start with the MAT-705 tuner, but I thought I'd go and start with the hard one first. I've connected up the XPA-125 to my 705. Now what I've done here is I've configured the radio up for it's on FM. It's set on 40 meters, 7.150 to be exact. At the moment I've set it on a watt, so 1 watt out, and it's being powered by DC, so the potential is 10 watts ish coming out the back of the radio. I've connected up the ALC PTT line, although it is important to note that the ALC on this particular amplifier is not compatible with the 705, and there is, if you try and use it, there is potential there for it to do some really strange things which you don't want it to do. So again, I take advice from people that are much cleverer than I am where that's concerned, and they said that it's not compatible. I believe there is some talk of an interface that will make that possible, but how and why and what, I really don't know at this stage. Band data is not available from this, so what you have to do is you have to do this manually. It doesn't mean to say that it would be impossible, because I think if there was an interface that was available that would maybe use sort of something like OmniRig or something like that, that might suddenly, you could use it in conjunction with, say, a small computer or something like that, and maybe in the future maybe make it so that it can do some band data. I don't know, be a good project. Anyway, so let's have a quick look at the amplifier. Like I said, everything's connected up. I've got it connected to a dummy load before the band police come and get me. I've got it on 40 meters into a dummy load. Okay, and well, let's see what it does. Let's see. So without further ado, let's go over to the other. Ta-da! Right. Okay, now I've closed this down so you can see the screen well. And what I'll do, if I just zoom out just a smidge, maybe you can see both. So you can see at the top here, I've actually got my RF power set to 10%, and everything else is as is. And what I'm going to do is the ATU on this is off because I've got it to a dummy load. And can you see the top? And along the top of this thing here, you can actually see the temperature, the current that it's drawing presently, and the actual voltage coming into the actual amplifier itself. Now down the side here, now maybe if I just turn this up just a smidge, you can see, you can turn the power, the PA on and off on this one. You can select the band with this one, and this one here turns the ATU on and off. And also, if you press and hold it, or if you press and hold it, it what does it do? It actually clicks. But if you PTT, okay, and then press the tune button, okay, if you press the PTT and so let's do that again, shall we? So we turn the ATU on, press the PTT, and it should tune. Well, it won't because it's actually an SWR of 1. Anyway, so yeah, there you go. So basically PTT, press that once and it will start the tuning cycle. Okay, and then yeah, so let's see it working. So I'm going to leave the ATU on, say 1 watt going in, and you'll see we've got an SWR of 1 going into the radio. You've got 90 watts almost coming out of the radio with an SWR of 1. I think that's really quite clever. So let's turn the ATU off and see what it does. So I've got an SWR going out of 1.1 and an SWR coming into the radio of 1. And it's giving me about 89 watts. So let's be cheeky. Let's see if we can wind her up just a little bit. Let's go 15%. What does it do? What does it do? So I've got an SWR there, 1.1 going out, and I've got SWR 1 going in, but I've got a good 91 watts going out. This is actually on the limit of my my dummy load, which is a 100 watt dummy load. So I think it goes to about 250 for a few seconds. So what I'm gonna have to do is be a bit careful because I don't want to blow it up. So let's see where we go with it. So let's be a bit more cheeky. Let's take it to about that's 2 watts going in. Let's see what happens. So there you go. Look, you've got 95 watts coming in. So that's actually telling me there's 1.5 watts going in. Okay, with 95 watts going out. So let's be a bit more cheeky. Let's take her up to 25. So should be really about sort of 2.5 watts, I believe, but obviously allowing for a bit of losses in, a bit of crappy coax I've got here. Let's see what it says. So 2.1 watts going in, 95 watts going out, and SWR is still pretty good with the ATU off. Let's be a bit more cheeky. Let's take her up to 3 watts going in. Now I don't know what the maximum power is. I think it's about 3 or 4 watts, but we're going to be really cheeky. So there you go, look, so 2.5 watts going in, and about 96 watts going out, and the SWR is good, and it's drawing 12 amps, and the temperature is creeping up as well. So let's take her up. Let's go really cheeky. Let's go 35%. So there's 3 watts going in, and it's now peaked out. I would say that about 3 watts in, 2.5 watts. I would say 2.5 watts is about its minimum. I didn't see any sort of changes after that, so it didn't complain. And perhaps actually we could put a little bit more in there. Sod it, let's try. So let's go put 4 watts in. What I think is 4 watts. No, see, it's coming up. See, it's coming up with the SWR is starting to creep up going in, but we're starting to sort of see yeah, we're starting to sort of see some changes in the input, but no change going out. So that sort of suggests to me that we've actually reached the limit. So about 3 watts in will give you about 100 watts in to a perfect load. So there you go. I hope that's been helpful. What I will do is let me disconnect all of this now, and I'll show you what it's toasted up my dummy load, and I've had this for absolute years. I bought this from Martin Lynch when I first started in ham radio. It's even still got the used label on it. So and I paid £20 for that, and that would have been, what, I don't know. I'll look it up later and actually see if we can see when I purchased it. But that was one of my best purchases ever. Is a Tourmaline dummy load, and it's been around ever since. It's been an absolute real gem. So let me disconnect this and turn this one off. And I love this this stand, by the way, on the 705. It's a Neewer camera stand. It's a Z mount. Quite like them. I mean, there are other stands available, obviously. I've got to say that, but I quite like that one. And I've also got some other little accessories which I've been shopping around for the 705, and I'm gonna do a whole little section on some of the little accessories that I found for my 705. But so yeah, let me get that out of there. And the other thing as well, I thought that might be a little bit cheap and cheerful, is the power cable on this amplifier. Although it's all right, and it seems to be okay, but it's very sort of jelly. If you know the cable I mean, it's cheap and cheerful, I think, the cable. Right, so on the back of the 705, you see that? Sorry, the 125. You've got the AL cell port, and that is where this cable plugs in. Power block, obviously 2 antenna ports, and then somewhere around there's a fuse. All right, so there you have it. And also there's another one there as well. What's that one? It's got a COM port on there. That one I think is probably ripe for some exploration. So that is the XPA-125. I hope I've done enough playing with it to satisfy some questions. And if you want to know any more, then do ask, and I'll try and borrow it again. So there you go. So let's move on now to the MAT-705 tuner and just see what that's like. So I'll see you in a minute. Okay, I'm back. What I've done is I've connected up the 705 to the MAT-705 tuner. I've got a 2-to-1 dummy load here. I've got that connected up to a DG-503 so we can see what the actual SWR is. The radio goes directly to the back of the SWR meter. The SWR antenna port goes to the RF in on the 705 tuner port, and the antenna port on the tuner goes to the dummy load. Now you'll notice that when we turn this on, let me go over to radio cam. When I turn this radio on, this new version 2 tuner will then turn on with the radio, which is a huge improvement. I think straight away that's a mega improvement. Not only that, but it's got the built-in battery as well, which is fabulous stuff. So now I've got the radio set for, it's all connected up to a dummy load, like I say. So before the before the band police try and get me, it's all connected up to a dummy load. So when I press PTT now, that should tune, and we've now got an SWR of 1 to 5. Brilliant. So now when we go over to, if I can get it to do it, so if we go now to 1.8, the tune light comes on, and then we get the green tuned light. So again, so if we go over to say 50, bit awkward doing it at this angle, it's tuned already. Excellent. And then let's go back down to say 24. So really give this a run for its money. There you go, look at that. So an SWR of 1 to 3. Now I think there is, I'm not sure if there's a bypass mode, but the SWR on this is two dummy loads back to back basically, so that will give us 2 to 1. I hope that that has been helpful to you. Just so that you know, the cable that comes with this is the this one here. Connects, instead of connecting to the send ALC port, connects to the tuner port, and then plugs into the back of the tuner via the control port. So let me just try and get this dummy load off. Doesn't want to come off now. There you go, get rid of him. So on the back of the tuner there, you can see the RF in, the antenna port, and the control port there, which that little cable plugs into. Those are the only two connections, and as I say, when you turn the radio off, the tuner now goes off. So that is completely done. That pops straight in your backpack, whatever you want, and away you go. I think I said earlier on, I am going to look at some accessories for this going forward, and I will put in the description down below links and stuff where you can get these, the 705 tuner, where you can get the 503 SWR meter, and the NEWA stand and the other stands. I mean, because there is actually another stand which I quite like. I've actually got one here attached to my camera, which is, you can see that it's the Manfrotto type. We sell those at work, really good. I quite like those as well. So that one's really good if you just want to if you want sort of something slightly higher, but obviously in my shack I've got something slightly lower. But there is also now the Icom little stands as well. They're quite nice. I think they're a bit on the expensive side, and Nifty also do one. The only drag with the Nifty one, because the Nifty one's actually quite good, it's really lightweight, that one, so if you've got to take something around with you, that is really quite nice. It's nicely done. There's actually a little knob at the bottom. If you've got the antenna bracket on the side, it does actually foul that antenna bracket. There's two little upstands. One of the little upstands just needs shortening just a little bit, so a little bit of careful attention with a hacksaw will take that off, and you can then run that with the little bracket as well. So yeah, so there's loads and loads of things, but I've also looking at some other bits and pieces which I found lurking and had some really good ideas. So hopefully, fingers crossed, they'll be coming from Amazon tomorrow. I'm quite excited by that. I do like a good Amazon shop. Right, now then. So, just in case you wanted to know, that is the dummy load that I was using. Basically, it's a T-piece and two really tiny dummy loads on there. That will give you about 2 to 1. You can actually do another one, a 3-way, and get 3 to 1. And if you guys know any other clever stuff that you can do with this, or that you can do to test sort of these sort of setups, then by all means in the comments below, let me know, because I am really up for learning. So yeah, good stuff. Right, thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. I hope that, as I said before, I do hope that your Christmas went really well, and that everything was all good. And if you do have the lurgy at the moment, I really do hope that you everything goes well and you get well soon. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you soon. Thanks, bye.